ledger don't care. Yeah. Crypto, ICO.
Hey, I'm Patrick Dugan. I have a startup called TradeLayer. I'm not going to shill it too hard right now. I have a Twitter called Duganus you can check out. And I'm here with... what's that?
Ilir Gashi. I'm from Litecoin Cash.
What kind of nationality is your name?
I'm originally from Albania, but I moved to London when I was 2 years old, so I've been brought up in London. Brought up with a lot of business in my life. So I'm from a business management sort of background. Marketing is my passion. So I've joined Litecoin Cash 4 or 5 months ago, about a month after the fork. And I'm essentially going to lead up the marketing campaigns that you're going to see coming soon, 2019.
Okay, so I'm going to be your friendly skeptic today. Okay. And I'm going to break down, because everybody sees, we're doing another altcoin, we're doing another ICO, we're doing another fork. You're diluting the crypto market cap, you're taking people's money, fucking scammer. They're going to be crying over capital losses eventually. And, these things are, by implication, real moral hazards. And, so for anybody considering not dumping this coin, Litecoin holders, right, all you have to do is not dump to have a position. So it's like a free option on whatever your chain does. And, what could possibly motivate them to not dump your fork?
So basically, what is our value proposition?
Absolutely.
Value proposition. First, we are leaders, not followers. Okay? So I'll tell you a few examples of what we did. So, in the space, you get a lot of airdrops, a lot of the old-fashioned, retweet this and stuff like that. We went a step further. We didn't do an airdrop, we did a space drop. We got 160,000 Litecoin Cash tokens in cards, put them up 35 kilometers in the space in Sheffield, United Kingdom, and we dropped them. We actually have claimants from those space drops. That's just one example. Another example, we are the first fork of Litecoin. Yeah. We are also going to be the first ever coin in the world to launch HiveMine. It's essentially a new mining algorithm that's going to be a hybrid version of our Litecoin Cash blockchain. It's essentially you create bees, virtual bees that will live on the blockchain, and they'll mine for you throughout their life cycle, and then you gain a block reward from every successful bee that you mine. It's essentially allows everyone and anyone to be able to mine. It opens up mining to anyone. I don't think any coin has that in the SHA-256 region in which Litecoin Cash. Another one. I'll keep going because there's a lot of.
I have questions.
Okay,
though.
You have questions.
Yeah,
you
don't get to lay it on me. I gotta unpack this. Okay, so it's a SHA-256 proof of work. So your risk of getting 51% attacked by basis points of the existing networks is trivially high. And in addition to that, you're innovating in the algo in some way, which sounds promising. I'll have to read it up on it. But it sounds like there's an inflationary kind of aspect to the bee mining. This is where my imagination goes. You don't have to invest billions of dollars into more capex to mine it. It's a part of the seigniorage of. So it's a more inflationary emission curve than Litecoin. Is it the same block time?
Okay, let me just clarify a few things because I need to explain. There's a lot of bit about hive mining which it just mind boggles me. But hive mining, it's essentially a blockchain for every block. Proof of work SHA-256 will work in conjunction with hive mining. So one block might be proof of work block, one block might be hive mining block. So in that aspect, the circulating supply.
So you're going to lower the block time.
So essentially the block time will stay the same, which is 2.5 minutes. It's essentially the same as Litecoin because we've forked off Litecoin. We're also going to have a dark wave difficulty adjustments. We've got a lot of technological stuff that's going on. I'm not a developer, so I can't tell you exactly, but our network will be the most secure out of all the SHA-256 coins. Another thing, that's a big claim to make, and I stand by that.
I was going to say,
I stand by that.
Vincent Vega, that's a bold statement, man.
But yeah, so we're essentially going to be the most secure coin because in that respect, 50% can come from proof of work, but 50% can also come from Hive mining. But what makes
But
Hive
it's
mining
basically proof of stake, right?
proof of a qualified stake?
Okay.
The more coins that you hold doesn't necessarily mean the more weight that you have.
Secondary metrics around days destroyed.
Exactly,
and stuff like that.
exactly. And also another key thing that I want to say is that for every B that you create, you have to pay a certain fee. All these fees go to unspendable address. These profits do not go to Litecoin Cash.
Okay.
They go to unspendable address that's unclaimed by anyone.
So you have a burn model.
It's different to a proof of burn because essentially where that is burning the coins, we're keeping them in the circulating supply, but just no one's essentially claiming them. So there is an option in the Litecoin Cash blockchain which allows you to donate a certain amount of percentage to the Litecoin Cash team if you would like to do that. But apart from that, we are trying to make this as decentralized as possible. And yeah.
Okay, so your business model is that you're trying to build up a community, get enough donations. How are you funded?
We are funded, good question actually. During the fork, our initial fork offering, we took 1% or approximately 1% of the pre-mine. So we've essentially got a development fund already. And we've been using that to list on exchanges. Our recent exchange, we listed on HitBTC. And there's a lot more exchanges to come. We've got a lot of contacts with bigger exchanges, but I can't say anything further for now. But so that's exciting news as well. So are you getting convinced, or should I give you more facts?
I've got a lot more questions.
Because, okay, go for it. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm here all day.
So first of all, you mentioned something about dark wave difficulty adjustment.
Yeah.
I like the genre of music. I'm not familiar with. Is this like the DDA that Bitcoin Cash has done, where it's a more more rapid readjustment?
Essentially, yeah, we've actually gone a step further and we've got better difficulty readjustment than Bitcoin Cash. So better how? So that's a good question.
You should have brought your CTO.
I should have brought my developers. That's a good question. But I'll try to answer that with the best of my capability. So from what I understand is our coin can handle sort of any influx of Bitcoin miners or any sort of bigger hash rate power. Okay. Obviously, to a certain extent, we did get 51% attack.
Maybe create more volatility in the block time.
Yes, it does.
The chain will survive, is what you're saying.
Exactly.
Okay.
Obviously, our chain is still undergoing, developments. We're launching HiveMine actually this month. Hoping to launch at HiveMine this month, so you can obviously play around with it and earn Litecoin Cash. We're obviously we're also going to launch, hopefully soon as well, a mobile app and a desktop version of HiveMine where you can use.
You're spending like a few $100,000 on this, y'all.
I'm not saying the amount of fees that we've spent, but
okay.
Let's just say that we're working very hard. We're all contributors. I'm not getting paid. I involve myself. I actually. No, actually don't.
You don't get any compensation?
No compensation.
Okay.
I do this full contributions for myself. I actually traveled here from UK. So I've done this all because I love cryptocurrency. I love Litecoin Cash. Do you want to have a question?
I thought I'd come out and join you. So you're not getting paid for this. That's great. I don't get paid for these shows either. How do you survive in life?
Well, I have a full-time job as well. So I do, I'm part of an organization called IMG, which is known as Endeavor now because they've rebranded. It's essentially a multi-media events, fashion events company. But my position in that company is a live streaming client specialist. So I essentially work with live streaming and betting companies as well. So that's my position.
So why in the world would you create Litecoin Cash in your spare time? And does the world need Litecoin Cash?
Okay, I'll answer that with another question.
Quickly.
Yeah, okay. Why do we need Litecoin Cash? Well, we need Litecoin Cash because it's going to dominate and eliminate Bitcoin Cash.
But we don't need Bitcoin Cash, do we?
Well, Bitcoin Cash will
So
exist.
this is where I want to throw a little nuance into the ring. So Bitcoin Cash, as far as I can see, the value of the Bitcoin Cash is tangibly adding is that there are guys like Pete Rizin and Andrew Weil and stuff and the different clients, right? Unlimited and ABC. They're doing R&D. It's interesting R&D. It's R&D with kind of different a priori assumptions and different goals than the kind of R&D that like Lightning Labs and Blockstream people have been doing.
So is this just a development protocol for Bitcoin on both of these?
We are not a competitor to Bitcoin. We're not a competitor to Litecoin. We are only a competitor to Bitcoin Cash. This is the reason why Litecoin Cash was created, because we want to create a fork that was better than Bitcoin Cash, and we do that in every single way. I would argue as well that Litecoin Cash is a coin for the miners as well. So we are very heavily dedicated for miners. And we are actually the most profitable, the most profitable SHA-256 coin in the market, backed up by a lot of statistics as well. We're also going to be, we're 90% cheaper than Litecoin, 90% cheaper than Litecoin, transaction fees. We're also going to be the most secure with Hive mining as well. So there's a lot of value propositions I can give you.
So are you just trying to kill Bitcoin Cash? Is this a whole thing to just show that the world doesn't need Bitcoin Cash, and that therefore you created Litecoin Cash to kill Bitcoin Cash?
I would say that Bitcoin Cash is a coin that's been manipulating a lot of customers, a lot of new people, and I feel as if it's my job, my duty, and also the rest of the world as well, to get rid of these scammers in the market. I feel as if the market will correct itself. Bitcoin Cash has lost.
I think,
I'm not a troll. I just don't like Roger Ver. That's why I just don't like him. So I don't think anyone in the community likes him, apart from himself.
Why don't you just call it Bcash?
Actually, look at my tweet. I retweeted. I actually tweeted on the Litecoin Cash Twitter. I actually called it Bcash. I actually pointed out I'm going to do a lot of controversial marketing as well. So that'll be fun to see.
Yeah, there's an old saying, who watches the watchmen? And I think in this case, it's like who scams the scammers, Well, okay, so I have a little broader perspective here. I think it's all chaos, and, you see what happens, and to that extent, it's all good, even though obviously people lose money sometimes and so on, and they should all be wise about how they allocate their risk. I'll tell you the way that I would play this as a trader. Yeah, I'm trying to make this tight. I would probably send my fork coins over to HitBTC, sell them, and then put in a buy order lower, and then let it, and maybe take a little off if I need a sandwich. But otherwise, yeah, I would speculate on a very strong initial dump, and then I would take it as a lottery ticket. Now, what's the possible value proposition here? I see potentially, if your algo actually survives, I could probably go buy an ASIC right now with my credit card and attack your chain if I wanted to. Just me, right? Instead, I'll probably mine some testnet blocks with it. But I think if you can get the user adoption based on an easy, emerging market friendly kind of income thing, and suss people up, jazz people up on that, but don't become BitConnect or MMM or whatever, just make it a handy thing, and your chain can survive, then, and for example, what I'm doing, trying to bring dollars and contracts and stuff onto these chains, I could port over to your client with one or two guys in a couple of weeks maybe. So it's a low opportunity cost for me, and I see all these apps and functionalities are going to some extent, be fungible across blockchains, but the network effects and the underlying chain security won't, right? And then you're going to see stronger thing. It's going to be like dinosaurs eating each other in the jungle. But I'm willing, I'm a speculator at heart, so I'm willing to mess with that by playing it the way that I described, and look at it as a lottery ticket, and then see what happens in the first 6 months with your adoption. So, it's I think you're fighting an uphill battle, but I respect that you're putting your time uncompensated into the game. That shows conviction. I'm the same way. I self-funded all year pretty much, so I'm 5 figures deep on this, and I love it, man. It makes me feel alive. So God bless the altcoiners. Blessed are the meek. Do your due diligence and allocate risk properly. That's my final take on it. You have any last words?
Hodl.
All right, it's your boy Crypto Blood, and I'm here at the Litecoin Summit, having fun out here in Cali. I'm just excited to be here, come all the way from Detroit. I'm just excited about cryptocurrencies, the evolution of it, and it really just brings a lot of people together from all walks of life. And, it's just really educating people on what real money is. And so that's what I like about it. It gives the control back to the people. And that's what we're all, here trying to do at the Litecoin Summit. Spread adoption and get people to check it out. So that's it.
All right. I'm Jason from Cryptosomniac, based in Los Angeles, and also obviously up at the Litecoin Summit. We got invited to come up and speak on a panel particularly about adoption, which is something that I think is very important, because ultimately there's still a number of people that aren't even aware what cryptocurrency is or that it even exists, let alone understand how to use it and why it's valuable. So we primarily just try to get out and educate the public on what it is, why it's a great hedge against the fiat banking system, and what gives it its intrinsic value.
All right. What's up, guys? My name is Patrick, just from Patrick Corsino's my YouTube. We're here at the Litecoin Summit, like everyone already said. Excited to spread the message. Tomorrow we have a panel speaking about, I think specifically YouTube is the one I'm going to be talking about, YouTube in the space. And, I mean, just like he mentioned, it's the perfect place to spread awareness and help people understand what's actually going on. And there's a lot of bad information out there, and I think being able to have your voice on YouTube, being able to put out quality videos, if you know what you're talking about. Obviously everyone knows we've been through a period where a lot of people didn't know what they were talking about, but if you know what you're talking about, you help people learn, the things they should know, like the information that's important to know. So yeah.
Without giving away too much of our talk on the panel tomorrow, we could get into a little bit of, what do you guys...
About our ride over here. We all actually rode in an Uber together.
Yes, that's...
All three of us rode in the Uber. So interesting little kind of conversation we had with the Uber guy, and he didn't even know what crypto was. And this is a guy, he looks like he's educated, he's in Silicon Valley. He had a nice car. He had a BMW. I'm a Benz person myself. Actually, Audi. But but he didn't even know what cryptocurrencies were. He's heard of Bitcoin. Yep. He knew what Bitcoin was. But that kind of just lets you know we're still in the very early stages, and we got a lot of work to do. And it's important that you have people that know what they're talking about and spreading the word of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. And not BitConnect, cryptos is not BitConnect. So
Why did you get started in it?
Why did I? Wow. So my background is FX, trading futures and foreign exchange, and also I have a technical background. So when I saw the concept of Bitcoin on Zero Hedge 5.5 years ago now, it just clicked right away. I literally went that night to CVS and purchased Bitcoin through BitInstant, through Charlie Shrams. So that started my journey, and it's just been a hell of a ride. Yeah.
Yeah. So what got me into crypto? Like many, I got into Ether very, very early. And, I had known what Bitcoin was since 2008, but I thought, why buy game credits for a game I don't play? And I didn't really understand what it truly was. I just thought it was, game credit type money. Did very well with Ethereum throughout the end of 2016, early 2017. And, I'm not one of those people that goes, I just made a bunch of money, so I should just let that happen. I was like, why did this happen? I need to figure out more about it. And started really looking into the underlying technology and just became fascinated with, the blockchain is truth, right? It is truth. And it's the potential for it to change the way that the world functions now for the masses. I think the potential is huge. So I had to do my part to try to help spread the word.
Yeah, so I think my story is a little bit different. So I've always really been interested in like the financial side of things, investing. And I was like 10, or probably not even 10, like in 2000, I was like 2 or like 3 when I was supposed to invest in Amazon. I was like, I could have invested in stuff like that and ridden that wave. That to me was a very obvious path that things were headed to. So when I heard about cryptocurrency and I started doing my own research about, what exactly Bitcoin is, what it does, what it's meant to be, to me it made perfect sense that, this is the investment I'm supposed to make.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's basically my story of how I got into it.
All right. So then, with this, again, we're going to be talking about adoption tomorrow. But just in a nutshell, without getting too far out into the weeds, guys, what do you think? Just top 3 things that are going to help bring more adoption or more awareness to the space?
Well, one for sure. Ironically enough, I think stable coins will. Yeah, I actually think stable coins will.
I gotta challenge you on that. Now, is there such a thing as a stable coin? I mean, the USD isn't stable long term; it's lost most of its value. So, how can you have? What are you gonna do? How are you gonna have a stable coin? Is that a true thing?
Okay, the name maybe not represent stability, but it's pegged to a fiat currency, and I think people don't know what the new system is, so they need something that looks like it. So that's what stable coins will help them transition into cryptocurrencies, in my opinion.
Why wouldn't you peg it to a commodity? Peg it to gold. Peg it to silver.
What's up, man? Because we run into the same issue. I have to now trust a third party to ensure that hold the asset. So that's why I think. Hey, Heidi. That's why I think. Yes, he does. I need a camera like this. This guy's got a crazy camera.
Broadcast on Comcast.
Oh, okay, cool. So yeah.
Some Litecoin candy. Like I paid 50 cents for some candy. Right there.
With Litecoin?
Yeah, with Litecoin.
Oh.
I actually have some Litecoin I need to get rid of.
So.
Dispenser that you
I
pay
saw it over there. I was wondering.
Yeah, so that's why, man. I think commodity-based cryptocurrencies are going to be challenging. You're going to run into the same counterparty risk, in my opinion. Ultimately, maybe not at the onset, but at some point down the line, there may be some funny money going on there. Rehypothecation is what they call it.
Well, so to that point, that's a concern I have, particularly with Tether. I mean, there's a number of stable coins on the market, but the fact that Tether will not let an auditor come in and actually verify the fact that there is a dollar for every Tether, and then they continue to thank God the Tether printer, because when the Tether printer happens, generally the price of Bitcoin does better. But there's no way to verify. If they won't have an independent auditor, there's no way to verify whether or not this actually exists. So at the end of the day, everybody could go in a market crash into Tether, and then everything falls out from underneath it. So
the stable coin, Tether's probably not a good example of a stable coin, but there will be one stable coin at some point that will help bridge that gap, I think. Maybe not Bitcoin, Ben.
But why? Why would we want to link it to a fiat currency? The whole thing is to advance, to go beyond fiat currencies, to have all the properties of Bitcoin. So isn't it going backwards?
I think, like he was saying, it's an easy way to bridge it. I think you're not going to jump right into something like adoption is not going to happen by trying to force something all the way to like the end goal. Right. It's going to have to come in pieces, and like we talked about having rules and stuff like that. It's going to come first. It's going to be a step into getting people more confident in it and getting people, just comfortable using it, and then we can continue and try and get to where we want to get at the end.
Yeah, people aren't going to, if they're comfortable with fiat currency right now and they don't see a problem with it, what makes you think they're going to jump over to such a different system right away? Right. So it's extreme. It's extreme.
The problem is eventually you're going to see a problem with the fiat currency. Throughout history, all fiat currencies have failed. And what do they have? Like a 30-year time horizon on most historical measures.
Sure, 40 years,
so, I mean, if you're in Venezuela, if you're in Zimbabwe, a lot of these countries, their currencies have failed. And it's only a matter of time till the others do. So what do you think about that?
I can speak to that.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Ooh, careful. So I think that's honestly, I think that's the real reason that brings Bitcoin value, right? We've only got 21 million Bitcoin that will ever be created. X amount of them have already been lost or burned, and there's the ones that are in Satoshi's wallet that are never going anywhere. So that is going to provide a little bit of intrinsic value because of the limited availability, which is a nice hedge against the dollar. But I think specifically what you're saying is there's got to be bridges, right?
Yeah. Gradient thing. Yeah.
Right.
Like
it's
a binary event where everyone just goes fiat crypto.
Well, this kind of goes to what we were talking about in the car on the way up here, is that it's for these options, like there are already options that are working for the majority of people, and if they're whether they are actually or not, they have the perception that they are working for them, and so unless they are feeling the pain bad enough to they're laying on the pokey nail till it hurts to get up off the nail and do something about it. But I think by and large, just the majority of people aren't really aware of how badly they're being.
There's not a pain point, right?
Right.
There's no pain point.
It's
Right.
probably gonna come. Like I think eventually, when people start realizing, like when we start getting the financial crash stuff like that, people usually open their eyes more towards that time. So it was like a long time to like before what happened in 08, right? Before what happened then. People didn't really care. People didn't really realize what was going on until it happened. Yeah, until they ran into the issue, and then they looked for what was going wrong. So it's probably gonna end up being the same thing.
We need that trigger event for crypto.
Everyone's waiting basically at this point. It's gonna happen. It's just a matter of when it happens.
So I guess that's something we should talk about too. In the event of a dollar crash, right? Imagine if the dollar does crash. I mean, obviously Bitcoin provides a good hedge against the dollar because of its manufactured scarcity, et cetera. But do we think that the entire market crashes, everybody immediately goes to crypto from there? Or again, what do you think on that?
So my scenario with the dollar crash actually looks similar to what we have right now. Venezuela, all of the other currencies the fiat currencies are going to crash against the dollar. I think we're going to see a stronger dollar initially, as we're seeing, and then eventually we'll see the dollar collapse and we transition. Almost like, I don't know if you guys follow Jim Willie, but Jim Willie talks about that, the dollar basically doing a melt up. It's just, and then it crashes. So I think that's what's going to happen, man. That's what it looks like to me. The other fiat currencies around the world crashing against the dollar, because really we export our problems, and so that we're seeing our problems expressed in these other countries. So it'll come back home to roost.
That's very accurate, that we export our problems. I think a lack of manufacture, what we manufacture in America is ideas. We make great ideas here, and that's all we do anymore. We don't make anything else. So,
here he comes.
I gotta question you on that, though. We've moved to a new state of the economy. Aren't ideas the most valuable thing we have? I mean, ideas are what value's all about. It's not about taking over someone's land anymore. We're a digital economy, and that's where the real value's at.
Ideas without execution are wishes.
Couldn't agree more. That's basically what I was gonna say. I was like, the idea is the first part, but you have to have the execution after that. Very well said.
I'm struggling for a comeback on that one. You nailed it, but it's still the ideas with execution. All right.
There you go.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, you're correct, but we've given so many of our problems away to the world and given them a way to prop up their GDP, and ultimately we're not making anything here anymore. So we're even exporting our resources away, and the only thing that we import anymore is it's every good, and then we're just importing people that have more good ideas so that we can sell those ideas back to the rest of the world. Again, it's extracting value from the economy without making it good for everybody. Absolutely. And it's a zero-sum game.
Yeah, and also a real he's got a hoodie on. Gucci gang, baby. Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang, Gucci gang. Oh no. That's good B-roll material there. So the thing is, like a real country's wealth is through something we make, like widgets. We got to make something. Again, I think we just need to do that.
Yeah, again, I think ideas without execution are great, but ultimately execution is what's going to be the main part. And again, we just need to have. Yeah, we need to have. I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. I
forgot what we were talking about. But the final words?
Final words.
I'm excited for tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm excited for the panel tomorrow. I guess we'll share more information.
Yeah, exactly. I'm looking forward to speaking more about adoption again. I was trying not to get into my entire rant during this one, so tune in tomorrow. Holla.
Hey, I'm Dennett. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to us on YouTube.